Today we are enjoying the luxury and opulence that is the Country Club right here in Auckland Park, Johannesburg. This is Trendz Travel, and as usual, I'm your host, Eloise Scoble. So if you call yourself a South African, you'll definitely know what the romantic repertoire is and who Eddie Zondi is. Now, 5 years after his passing, this veteran DJ has been celebrated by international artists and fans alike.
If music is a universal language, then this occasion would go down in history books as one that unified music lovers from all walks of life. This music extravaganza was held in honor of the late South African radio maestro Makosonke Eddie Zondi, a man who needs no introduction when it comes to soul and R&B lovers. R&B royalty gave heartfelt performances that took Eddie's fans and family back in time to remember the man behind the romantic repertoire.
Let's talk about tonight. Tonight is the big night. It's the night of the concert.
That's right. Finally, we get to celebrate Eddie Zondi. Yes.
I'm excited as well. How are you feeling? You're about to go on stage. So do you still get jitters in your stomach?
Absolutely. I always get nervous right before I go on stage. And then once I get out there, I kind of relax a little bit. But this has been a long time coming for me to be able to say thank you to Eddie for all he's done for me, for playing my music for so many years. So it's just nice to be able to celebrate with all the people and his fans and stuff. So it's going to be fun.
Songs that we could look forward to when we go into the auditorium for the performance?
Oh, if I tell you that? No. Well,
I can guess. I'll guess.
Okay, let's see if you can guess. Let's see.
Giving you all my life.
I will do that one for you.
I think that's the song, right?
Yes, I will do that one. And so many people have reached out and asked me to do Someone to Love Me Forever. Yes. Everything Will Be All Right. Yes. Giving You All My Love, songs like that. So I will do all of those for them tonight. Well, I would just say to Eddie's fans, if you're not here, you're missing a serious treat. And in the future, make sure you always support anything connected with Eddie Zondi because of what he did, not only for you all, but what he did for me also.
And can we do a little something for Eddie? In Eddie's voice, we're going to say the romantic repertoire, like in that deep voice. I'll try and do a deep voice. Can you also do a deep voice?
Okay, I'll do it. Okay. The romantic repertoire.
All together now. Yes, the romantic repertoire. Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
See you on stage.
All right.
Thank you.
It was as if they had met before. Chris knew exactly what Eddie Zondi's fans wanted to hear. It was a night of classics and so much more.
Ma, tell me right now, as we're sitting here, how are you feeling? What are the feelings that you're going through right at this moment?
Since last week, uphakamile umakoti wami makangitshela ukuthi kuzoba nalo msebenzi. Ngathuka, but I was happy after that. Since then, ngijabulile. I'm very happy.
Sometimes what can't be said in words is better articulated in song. It was an evening of love, song, and memories of a man larger than life.
5 years, how has Metro been doing? What kind of a shape has the station taken since Eddie Zondi's passing?
Well, the first thing that I must say is that we have carried on his legacy, the legacy of the romantic repertoire. So much so that we actually have not changed the name of the show. Normally when people leave shows, we change the show names. But one of the things we say to ourselves is that we want to keep the romantic repertoire in honor of Brady. And so the first thing we actually did was to get someone, not to replace him, but to do the show, which is Sintle, and he has been doing fantastically in honoring Brady's legacy. And so, again, as a brand for us, we're totally honored to be able to just show how much we miss Brady. There's going to be a certain percentage which is going to go to the family. That is something that is obviously an internal communication. But to answer you, yes, there's going to be proceeds which is going to help the family, the kids, because it's now that Pagamile is alone, she obviously needs all the help that she can get. We are glad that South Africans have come out. We've sold out the arena. I have never seen a tribute concert that has been sold out.
What was your favorite Eddie Zondi quote or Eddie Zondi track or Eddie Zondi saying or Eddie Zondi voice range? Well, he only had one, but do you have any?
You know, he loves talking about his show being the most romantic show on the side of the equator. And it's something that Sinclair's adopted as well. So, you know, when you hear that, you always think about Bra Eddie Zondi.
When you used to do the 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. show, I used to wake up and I used to call him, and we're actually from the same hood. So, yeah, I do miss him. I miss his voice, I miss his music, yeah.
I think the moment that stood out is when everybody was just rejoicing when the picture of Eddie Zondi came on stage or came up onto the lights, and everybody was just rejoicing, everybody was happy, everybody enjoyed the moment, everybody remembered him for who and what he was, and the music that literally just brought memories of what they had, of the love interest that they had in the past experiences. And yeah, that was a moment for me.
We will be back with more of Trendz Travel right after this very short break. But I'd like to remind you that you can catch us on Twitter and on Instagram. That's on Trendz on SABC using the hashtag SABC News.
Want to join the box in Japan? Sign up or upgrade at an MTN store for a chance to win a once-in-a-lifetime trip. Get a massive 23 gigs plus 1,000 all-net minutes for only $579 per month on a 24-month MTN made-for-business SIM-only plan and keep your business ahead of the pack. Connect with this exclusive business deal and you'll score either a bonus smartphone of your choice, tablet or Jabra speaker at no extra cost to grow your business. We got you, Boca. MTN.
It is estimated that about 85% of jobs that will exist in 2030 haven't been created yet. On Network, we don't shy away from having these conversations.
Nothing wrong with wanting to be a doctor, nothing wrong with wanting to be a lawyer, but we're talking digital skills. We do coding, we do computer literacy. Beyond what you know, here's what else you can actually look into as a career.
If South Africa invests properly in tech, it can be the next China.
Be a part of our network, Saturdays at 8:30 p.m.
Mama, tell me a story.
My child, I have a great story to tell you. Although we come from humble beginnings, we've done legendary things.
South Africa have won the 1996 African Cup of Nations.
Our lands are full of wonders. Even though sometimes things don't go our way, we find inner strength to persevere and push forward. We dress up for the occasion. Oh, how we love to dance and sing. We've seen our fair share of victories and disappointments. But we thrive when we are together. And that, my dear child, is the beautiful story of Africa.
SABC is the official broadcaster of AFCON 2019, Africa's beautiful story.
South Africa is rich in culture and rich in stories. And one of those stories is the story of Joseph Shabalala and the Ladysmith Black Mambazo. Nadia goes behind the scenes in their latest musical, Mshengu.
Mshengu the Musical, a story about the legendary Joseph Shabalala and the multi-award-winning, world-renowned Ladysmith Black Mambazo, will premiere in September at the Soweto Theatre. The mighty Black Mambazo was here to tell us about what we can expect and just to briefly share their life story.
As Ladysmith Black Mambazo and me personally, we are very excited about our story to be told at home. Because as I mentioned there, we had somebody was trying to explain to somebody in America that what black stand for in our group. So now, as we know that the story is going to be written by people that who have been watching Ladysmith Black Mambazo while they were growing up, they know all the story. And when they interview us, we are able to tell our story in our own language. Because sometimes the language it hinders you if you want to say something. So we are very happy, and then we hope that, and we are confident that we'll be able to work with these people, and then they will be telling a good story, because that will be a dream come true for Joseph Shabalala and Lady Smith Mambazo, because our aim from the beginning, it was to tell our story and encourage our people in terms of music. Whatever the music that you got in your indigenous music, the music that you sing at home, just believe in it. But our leader, the founder of Lady Smith Mambazo, Babu Joseph Shabalala, used to say, you can have a talent, you can be brilliant, but if you are lazy, there's nothing you're going to achieve. So it's those things that we want to encourage. And then by telling this story through the theater, I think it's going to be a great way to convey that message.
Only the great should be allowed to work on such a production. So how does it feel to be picked as the director?
Mammoth of a task, a legendary story, a man who comes from working on the farms and now is known all over the world. Like, you know, you can ask anyone around the world about Lady Smith Black Mambazo and they'll tell you they know it, you know. So it's an absolute honor for me to be able to tell the story.
I feel very excited about the story of my father being told. While what makes me feel very proud about this is that the story is being told while he is still alive. Because most of the times, people like to tell stories while people have already passed on. So this is what we call living legacy.
Somebody cried.
The search is still on for the cast, so if you think you have what it takes, make your way to the Soweto Theatre on the 17th of July and the Joburg Theatre on the 18th of July.
If you're like me and you love the 80s and you particularly love the 80s fashion, well, I've got some great news for you, as Levi's is bringing it back with their brand new collaboration with one of the Netflix series, Stranger Things.
You let us in. And now,
Season 3 of Stranger Things, an American science fiction television series, is back on our screens, this time in collaboration with American denim brand Levi Strauss. The series takes viewers on a trip down memory lane, the 80s to be precise, with scenes reminiscent of that era, a period where Levi Strauss jeans were a very popular brand, especially amongst the youth, rock stars and hippies. Set in the town of Hawkins, Indiana, Season 3 of the series focuses on an investigation into the disappearance of a young boy amid supernatural events occurring around the town.
I need you safe.
So we were given a sneak peek on how the different looks of the series were put together.
Jonathan Chung, our chief designer, obviously met with the team on set and collaborated with them to create the wardrobe. So some of the pieces that you'll see in the line are specifically worn in the show, and then others are obviously created with a little bit more of a kind of consumer mindset, using the logos, playing around, mixing it up a little bit, and just doing some cool upside down things. So this one specifically is Dustin's Camp Nowhere t-shirt. So this you'll see in the series, he's wearing it. It's quite an obvious piece, so I think if you really want to be part of the crew, this is the one you would get. Then we've got a couple of other things like the hoodie, which obviously just features all the characters of the cast, so just a really fun piece. 11's sweater, obviously, a great piece, and I think quite fun to wear. And then we've got accessories as well in the line. We've got our classic fits from the 80s as well, so you'll see our 505 fit. We've got a couple of different versions of that as well. We've also got a trucker jacket. So yeah, there's some really fun pieces just to kind of fit in with the theme and the upside downness of Stranger Things.
With the brand being so iconic, we chatted to some of the fans on their fondest memories of Levi's.
My first Levi's was passed down from my brother. It was a grey pair. I can't remember exactly which one, but I mean, he had it for a couple of years and then I had it for a couple of years. I think those Levi's are still alive somewhere. Maybe I gave it to someone.
I think my fondest memory of Levi jeans was the first time I ever bought them for myself, because I only ever wore like my brother's jeans, or I'd go thrift them. Like if I went thrifting and I found Levi jeans, I would feel so happy. I'd be like, I hit the jackpots. But the first time I ever bought a pair of Levi jeans for myself was in 2016. I know it's very recent, but I had saved up so much for them and they were very expensive, you know, so I knew that it was a good quality pair of jeans that I still wear today.
What the hell? So, if you are into science, fiction and horror, be sure to tune in on the latest installment of Stranger Things. I need you to trust me. And who knows, the fashion style on the series might just inspire you to relive the 80s fashion.
We're about to take a short break, so don't go anywhere.
On Full View, the end of the day means unpacking the day's events. We recap all major news stories from around the world.
The African Union's decision to suspend Sudan's membership was made by the AU Peace and Security Council.
It was a unanimous decision. We said we'll give them up to 60 days.
And have in-depth discussions on what's happening in our country.
This economy, for it to grow, you need people that will be working in order for them to be able to have the buying power.
Baletsle Mthethwa joins us now live. MNS attorneys were mandated to conduct these reports and investigations. What sort of processes did they follow?
We heard Tiamo explaining that they worked with actuarial scientists in order to investigate these transactions.
Slap suits, tell us more about this.
The concept of slap suits, which is litigation often used by big companies to silence critics.
We as civil society won't stand for this kind of intimidation and harassment. If you come to South Africa, you need to obey the obligations that you have in terms of the laws of this country, including environmental laws.
In my time, I've truly seen it all firsthand. Angizwanga ngizibonele ngalawam amehlo. Going through my photographs and reflecting on my memory box really brings back many life experiences that are bittersweet and humbling. In this, my homeland, I've entertained tourists and offshore traders. I've evolved from dealing with the battering system to trading foreign exchange. I've traveled to the ends of the world and tasted a diversity of culinary palates. To outsiders, I have lived alongside wild animals, tamed some, and collected livestock as wealth. So my memory box is overflowing. And don't get me wrong, I'm not bragging, but in fact, I'm breaking and hurting deep down inside of this heart of mine. Why? What for? I hear you ask yourself, my fellow Africans, friends and family. The images I have of me are those of the point of view of my onlooker, not those of myself, the subject at hand. I'm choking and suffocating at the chalice those anthropologists and filmmakers tie around me as some sort of grand name tag. Stories have been made and told of me, not of my own words. Films and graphic images have entertained millions of audiences at my expense.
There are fast cars, fancy cars, flashy cars, and vintage cars, and all of these can be found at the Classic Car Show. Welcome to the Classic Car Show, where literally thousands brave the cold and the traffic to spend the day looking at cars. One would have thought this kind of event was only for petrol heads, but it proved to be a full, fun family day out. The Classic Car Show is exactly as the name suggests, with an array of classic vehicles lined up for your viewing pleasure. Everything from the classic red soft-top MG to your old-school Mercedes-Benz. If American muscle is more your speed, this car show has that too. From your Mustangs to engine views and a beautiful blue Chevrolet flatbed truck. For speed, the Corvette revs it up and shows off goodies and gadgets. Dodge is not far behind, with its neat, classic look still kept in mint condition. Mini Cooper also had a spot with their Italian job replicas and a sneak peek under the hood. For me though, it was the Bug and Beetle Fiesta that truly impressed. Vintage Beetles lined up the parking lot in all colors and personalities. But it's not just old school, as today classics also had a bit of a show and shine. And of course, what is a car show without Porsche?
Yeah, man, this is the Nasrec Expo Center. It is two shows combined in one. It is the classic car show for all the people that appreciate old school 1960s, 50s and 40s muscle cars or just pure vintage rides, in conjunction with German vs. Jap, which is a little bit different, more for the younger generation, all about the stance, the park off, the big power 2JZ conversions, turbos and everything in between.
This is the park off, where car owners proudly park and display what is essentially an extension of themselves. And then there's the South Side Crew.
I actually started South Side Crew in high school, and we've been pushing this culture, the street culture, for so long, man. I'm a car guy since I was a little kid, and this is just one of our events that we throw biannually. We do it every 6 months, and it's so nice to have the support of so many people just coming through with their families, their kids, their wives, their aunties, their granddads, and just coming and having a solid day, enjoying good cars. This is called the low limbo. This gets kind of crazy. So we take a measurement from the floor to the roof of the car. Whoever has the lowest measurement actually takes the win. But the way these girls and boys actually achieve this is quite like hysterical. It's like a comedy show in its own right. So as you can see, hundreds of people gather around and just enjoy the round, because as it gets lower, people start pulling out all funny tricks to get their cars as low as possible. They let the air out of the tires, they actually take the springs out of the shocks, then they load their family, their uncles and the heaviest guys they can find in the crowd, in the car, on the roof, on the bonnet. It's a crazy subculture, man. It's called the low limbo.
From the low limbo, it's on to some more exciting and even dangerous ventures before the day ends. The drift course. Here we get a play-by-play from a professional drifter.
Place for two more people. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a little chat to you while I'm drifting and tell you a little bit about what's happening in the car. You know, you might hear some guys screaming. It's not me, I promise. So basically all we do here is you come, start off, put the accelerator down and sideways we go. Now we change direction. That's probably the hard part, is letting the steering wheel fly to your fingertips. Now we're going to do nice, big, long figure of eights. Nice and long. Here's a big switch. Oh, throws the guys on the back seat. And we switch around. Here we come around long. Nice, big, long drift. And now we're going to tighten it up around this little cone. Tighten it up. We're going to snake down to the donut section. So here we go to the donut section. Tighten it up. A little dab of the brake just to slow us down. And then put the right wheel next to the cone. Add a little bit more gas for some smoke. Then we change direction again. All the long drift for the setup for the parking. Here we go, setup for the parking. A little bit of speed and ta-da! That is a drift.
From even the tiniest classics to great music, there's something for everyone.
Classic Car Show 2019 Nasrec!
Very few people know this, but it is rumored that Walt Disney actually put a clause into his will that stated that all of the classics should be remade so that every generation can enjoy it. And that's exactly what's happening with The Lion King. The wait is finally over, and Disney's The Lion King finally has its remake after 25 years. A firm family favorite since 1994, the much-loved animation is brought to life, welcoming back to the big screen iconic characters that audiences have long treasured, but in a whole new way.
Look closer. He lives in you.
Lion King was a story that people knew intimately.
Simba.
The reason The Lion King has endured is because the inspiration that we're getting from it is universal.
It's a story that remains true to everybody.
The songs are amazing. Just felt like everything you want from a Disney movie.
Getting to relive it in a new way is really exciting.
We wanted to capture what people's memory was of this with both the music and the imagery. And I think when you could capture the spirit but show them something new and surprising, this is sort of the best combo.
It is time.
This has been a really incredible experience. I've never seen anything made this way before. The level of care where everybody knows how much it means and everybody's that invested.
With the use of pioneering filmmaking techniques and director Jon Favreau of Jungle Book fame.
Entering into Lion King, inheriting all that I learned on Jungle Book, there was a tremendous opportunity to retell the story using a new set of tools and a new technology.
Boasting a vast array of talent, the likes of Donald Glover, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Keegan-Michael Key, Florence Kasumba, John Oliver, Alfred Woodard, and even James Earl Jones reprising his role as Mufasa.
Come, I can help.
No, son, you stay with the other cubs.
And then the music, there was such a rich tradition surrounding the songs that Hans and Elton and Tim Rice and now Pharrell worked on.
And the new edition of Beyonce as Nala has certainly upped the ante of the 2019 version.
It's nice to have actors who are both the performers and the singers. You have Beyonce and Donald. They present something totally new and exciting. Real musicians bringing their creative voices to this.
Hakuna Matata, Hakuna Matata, Hakuna. It's our problem.
But it's not just about another remake.
Hakuna Matata.
You guys sounded great.
We wanted to honor the past. It's not that we're reinventing the story, we're reinventing the medium.
The big question on everyone's lips, though, is what do the two versions look like side by side? While in comparison, and with help from both trailers, there are lots of shots that mirror the original animated film, that bring back fond memories, and that literally bring the treasured characters to life.
A true king searches for what he can give.